You would think a player that steps up in the playoffs, a winger that is dedicated in both zones, someone who even went to your star forward David Pastrnak's wedding, would be on the top of the list of priorities for the Boston Bruins, but you would think wrong. It was clear during last season that the Bees and DeBrusk were never going to agree to an extension. But what surprised me the most was the "don't let the door hit you on the way out" attitude from many Bruins fans. As someone who primarily covers the Canucks, this raised a few questions. Why the animosity, and should Canucks fans be concerned? That is the topic of today's video, but before I get into it, please drop a like and consider subscribing. I am trying to hit 5,000 subs before puck drop, and I can do it with your help. Thank you. Drafted out of the WHL in the first round as a power forward, does not reach his potential, inconsistent, leaves fans of his team unimpressed. First name Jake. Sounds all too familiar for Canucks fans. Let me make it clear, I am not painting all Bruins fans with the same brush. In this video, I am talking about the vocal contingent that will not be rolling out the welcome mat for DeBrusk's return to Boston on November the 26th. The main source of animosity towards Jake DeBrusk comes from his 2022 trade request. Boston sports fans are the most unforgiving in North America. There are certain expectations out of players when they play in that city, and the Bruins culture is renowned around the NHL for its accountability, sacrifice, and dedication. That is why Bruins fans were really upset at DeBrusk. They see it as an honor to don that spoked B, and for it to become public that a player wants out is seen as sacrilege. And it wasn't even like DeBrusk at the time was producing. He was coming off the worst season in his career with only 5 goals in 41 games during the bubble season. When he made the trade request, he was in the second and final year of a short-term deal paying $3.6 million. His trade request was seen as putting his financial future ahead of the team's success, which was seen as selfish. His effort level was questioned by Bruce Cassidy, which further stirred the pot. Still, Cassidy wanted him to succeed and placed him on the top line beside Marchand and Bergeron, and DeBrusk found his scoring touch again. He finished the season with 25 goals, but it was his effort away from the puck and his 200-foot game that led to this success. That summer, after a disappointing first-round exit, Bruce Cassidy was fired, and the DeBrusk camp magically rescinded their trade request. You would be naive to think that this was a coincidence. It's pretty obvious that there was friction between the two, and this saga stained DeBrusk's reputation as a Bruin in his final 2 seasons. But nothing quite hurt his stock like his inconsistency. Just last season, DeBrusk only scored 1 goal in his first 16 games. He had 1 goal on 34 shots, and he seems to undergo slumps like this every season in his career. He was able to find his touch a little bit and score 18 goals before elevating his game in the playoffs with 5 goals in 13 games. But the dry spells are what drove the Bruins fans to pull their hair out. For his own sake, I really hope Jake DeBrusk can iron out these consistency issues, because Canucks fans are no less unforgiving than Bruins fans. If he comes into this season and scores only 1 goal in his first 16 games, the pressure on him is going to be greater than the underwater pressure on the Ocean Gate submersible. He was brought in to score goals. Whether that's with Pettersson or Miller is yet to be seen, but he must deliver goals consistently because the media here is already debating on whether or not he can score 30. Let's just hope he hits the ground running, or that contract could soon mirror that of another albatross. The third and final reason I found for the animosity was he's soft, at least according to some Bruins fans. There is a certain style of play that Bruins fans expect out of their wingers: truculence, fearlessness, ferocity, whatever you want to call it. There is a big bad Bruin stereotype, and whether it was fair or not to place these expectations on DeBrusk is up for debate. But as a rookie, many fans felt that he shied away from the physical aspects of the game. Even as he grew physically and began to crash and bang for his goals, it seems like he wasn't able to shake this label. I won't go too deep into this because I don't watch a lot of Bruins games, but out of 14 Bruins forwards last season with a minimum of 25 games, he threw 4.76 hits per 60, which ranks 8th, so middle of the pack. He threw more hits than Marchand and Pasta. And I want to ask any Bruins fans watching, I am genuinely curious here, this is not a criticism against you guys. If there is indeed a Bruins way, then why is there an exception of physicality for some players and not others? Is Pasta forgiven for not laying the body as much? And why exactly do you guys think DeBrusk is soft? Let's continue this conversation down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.